Hello, and welcome back to the land of the Seven Suns, with Fishy Plantman as your host. Hello. I realize the brush in the background outside isn't the best, background, but, yeah, I don't have my staging area, so we're just gonna have to live with it. Anyway, this is the Arrowhead. It's also the View. We'd talked about little experiments. I cut this one so that I could have a start. And I cut it high, thinking that if I got plants coming up out of that stem, that would be kind of neat. I didn't. As far as I can tell, the stem hasn't done anything. But that's not to say I haven't got new starts. I've got, I don't know if you can see that with the lighting, but down at the base there are several. They are coming out of stems, but they're coming out of, somebody else's stem. And they're coming out close to the base. Yeah, kind of like I said, the person that cut those others may have been onto something. It seems they're right. And they were onto something. But I will let that stem stay, in the hopes that maybe at some point it will prove me right. If not, maybe next December, because apparently December is a good time to cut, because it seems to encourage new growth at the base. Or maybe it was going to come anyway and the cutting was coincidental. I don't know. I'm not a plant. And despite talking about speaking plant, I'm not that fluent. I cannot ask the plant that question. Did you grow these new growths because I cut your arm? No, I can't ask it that question. I can see how it responds, and it can, maybe tell me that way. But I can't literally ask the plant. So I can't really say with much confidence either way. So, there's that one. It's got, 3 new growths that I'm aware of. 2 seem to be moving pretty good. 1 is just getting started, so I don't know. Okay. The cutting I took didn't wilt away too quickly. It's here. 1 leaf died. But I still got 2. And we'll see what it does. And this thing over here is doing well. Right there is the new stem that came out and put out new leaves. They are variegated, because it's a variegated variety, so I was hoping it would keep its variegation. It seems to. I watered it the other day, and it seems I gave it too much. There's a dead leaf. Very little water for this plant, it seems. You get it too wet, and it starts dropping leaves on you. So, and I also give it quite a bit more light. It's not in that other window over there. It's over here because, like I said, I lost my staging area. You will see in a bit. I'm going to go ahead and give one more shot of the view because it is quite a view. So, yeah. We got a view. Sometimes I see sailboats in that water, tugboats. Occasionally a bigger ship will come through. Maybe that will become even more common here pretty soon with the way things are going. Cars on the road. Can't help it sometimes. There's also a fair amount of wildlife I get out this window. Hummingbirds. Not that there's any at the moment, but this brush over here, all those little white flowers, there's a satellite dish in it. Sorry about that. But all those little white flowers, the hummingbirds, they just love them. So, yeah. Those, yeah. They get those little white flowers and all kinds of hummingbirds and even a few bees. Sometimes I see deer out here eating at the brush. All kinds of songbirds. If they can stay away from the cats. Lost another one the other day. Kind of depressing. But, I don't know. I kind of look at it from two different angles. For one, I like it when the cats kill a mouse or a rat or something like that. Not so much if it's a chipmunk or a songbird. But especially with songbirds, chipmunks and things, they can run into a hole and get away. Sure. But they don't have wings. So all a bird has to do is spread its wings and fly away. So for a cat to catch a bird, I figure that bird is either dumb and not paying attention, because otherwise it would fly away, or maybe it's old and sickly and basically needs to be taken out anyway. So, yeah, cats killing songbirds, yeah, if they're a specialist at it, that can kind of suck. But especially if it's like these cats, they only get, I don't know, I think it's been a couple of years since they got a bird. Pretty close to a year anyway, since they got the last bird. That's not really a specialist. When I was a kid, I had a cat that would kill a couple of birds a day almost. That's a specialist. So, yeah, there's the view. And we will move on to the next thing. Okay, this is the, what is it? Aloe vera that I got, a couple of years ago now? It's about that tall. If I back up, yeah, it's about like that. Anyway, it's got a new little plant coming out right there. It's got a couple of leaves, but this isn't the best angle for it. There. So that is basically all I've got for this plant. Yeah. Not sure how old that is. It was just spotted the other day. So, there's that. One thing I forgot to say about the arrowhead, when I cut its stem, I did put some cinnamon on the cut to manage the the sap flow. Yeah, well, the sap flew right through it. Flew? It seeped, I guess is going to be the word I'll use. Seeped right through it. I had to manage that sap for a couple of days before I could put it back in its spot. So, there's that. Another reason not to cut up where the sap doesn't just drip into the plant. You know, you have to really manage it out there. So, yeah. But that's the pup, I guess, on the aloe vera. We will go to the next thing. Okay, sorry about all these cuts, but it's better than putting my fingers over the camera, I suppose. Over here we've got the mother fish for my little breeding project, seeing what we can come up with. And I'm going to be, you know, if they were cattle, I would say working them. Putting ear tags in, giving shots, you know, seeing if they're pregnant, those sorts of things. Well, that's cattle. And in a way, you know, working them, it's kind of the same thing. I was going to work them, you know, separate them between the older male and the young male, which may not be old enough to breed yet, although I do kind of wonder if he got that little black female there, Charcoal. But I decided to wait for... Where'd she go? Where did she go? Her, I believe. Yeah, there she is. For her to drop her babies. I gotta look over the top. No, I don't think she has yet. I just looked over the top at her. But one of these younger females, not her, that one over there, just swimming with the mom. Well, it's not her mom, but that one there, she's in the plant now. I believe she did. I had seen at least one, possibly two, new babies in the tank. So I looked up here to see if she had dropped yet. Nope, she hasn't. But there was babies, so I've got to think about getting the babies. There's all three of them. Look at that. Those babies out of this tank. And I got another 10-gallon for that purpose, which came with fish. Wasn't exactly pleased with the idea, but I warmed up to them. They were some kind of a catfish. Not sure what. I'd warmed up to them. I thought they were kind of neat. I could figure something out for this breeding project. I would keep those catfish. Yeah, well, be careful what you ask for, I guess. Because I asked for a 10-gallon tank. I ended up with a 10-gallon tank and some accessories. I mean, it's planted. Some things came with it, like that filter, which didn't work out of the box, but I got it working. A little bit noisy, but I got it working again. I'm not sure if it went into the box not working, and, you know, that's why the filter on the new tank is on there, because that one had to be replaced, or what? I don't know. But even if it went into the box broken, I'm glad it wasn't thrown out, because as you can see, even though when I first plugged it in it wasn't working, it certainly is now. Still a little bit noisy, but Yeah. I've got an idea to fix that, but I'm also aware that, it might screw everything up, and I'm back to a broken filter. This way, I don't know if you can hear it. I'm kind of coming down here where the culprit that makes the noise is. It's not that. That is not the culprit. It kind of is, but it's in cahoots with the pin that runs the fan. So, anyway, that's something for us nerds that, geek out on the equipment. I don't even really know brand names and stuff, but I can make a filter work. So, yeah. There's the mother who hasn't yet dropped her babies, and I don't want to stress her out getting them out, but they do need to come out because they chase that one baby around. It's a smart little thing. It zips out and does a couple of maneuvers, and the fish don't only lose track of it, but so do I when that happens. Okay, so there's a bigger baby and those. Let's have a look at the new tank. I'm not going to make for more editing. I'll just pan over here. Don't you ever eat? Ooh, wow. Oh, you're a breeder. You really can't see, but yeah, he's gorgeous. Something about this light that he's in. Wow. Okay. I hope you kind of keep that coloration. You are gorgeous. One of the plants that had to move because of the other thing. Take a look at him. He's pretty. Well, let's face it, he's gorgeous too. But not like that young son of his. I think it's his. Might not be his. Anyway, whoever. That's a good looking fish over there. Ugh. So down, we got to come down to this tank. And sadly, there is no longer any catfish in this tank because somehow I managed to nuke the tank. I brought it home. I set it up. Couple of fish weren't doing well. The new water didn't set with them. I lost a couple. But that's one thing. And the rest of them were doing fine. A couple of days went by and I thought, okay, I'll test the water, see what's going on. Tested the water, had a little bit of an ammonia spike. I needed to deal with it, but it wasn't anything that worried me. The fish, even though I'm unfamiliar with these catfish, it shouldn't have been bad enough to kill them. So I thought, okay, I'll deal with it. Came back a couple of hours later, did something in the meantime, and I thought, okay, I need to deal with this ammonia. I'll maybe do a little bit of a water change. Now, there's ammonia in the tap water anyway, so I didn't want to do much of a water change, but I thought I'd do a little bit of a water change. And I looked at the tank, and over the course of a couple hours after the testing, everybody was done. The tank just completely crashed. I thought, what in the world? The only thing I can think of is I had somehow nuked the tank with that test. You know, did my fingers have something on them when I, got the water? Were the test tubes not washed well enough? Maybe there was chemical in the test tubes. Because for years now, I've just collected straight with the test tube straight from the tank. Never had a problem. But something about this water change, which I didn't do any different, not knowingly at least, somehow I had nuked the tank and I had lost these little catfish that I was really starting to enjoy. It was a nice looking tank. I was considering not ruining the look by putting guppies in here because it looked fine the way it was, and I was afraid that I might ruin this natural look. Well, that kind of ruins it anyway. There's no heater in nature, but there's also no filter in nature. Let me move this over to the side. There we go. So there's no filter and heater, but that's part of having an aquarium. There's things that ain't natural. But something. Did I have soap on my hands? When my fingers went into the water? Did some soap residue come off? I'm not sure. But something apparently got into the tank. I kind of wonder if it wasn't chemical from the test bottles, because that master test kit, it's got those liquid bottles. I wonder if when I took them to set up for the test, if maybe they didn't have some chemical on the outside that I wasn't aware of, and that got onto my fingers, and then when my fingers went into the tank to collect the water, that chemical got into the water and nuked the tank. I don't know for sure. The only thing that I'm relatively certain about is I had accidentally nuked the tank. I guess I'm lucky that I didn't do, anything with the other tanks, because, had I messed with them too, I probably would have nuked them too, not knowing what I was doing. But anyway, that's sad and depressing, and yeah, really kind of ruined my day, because I was starting to like these little guys. But they're gone now. I still have, the equipment. There's that other filter up there, and I got a box of stuff that was really kind of neat. I saw the box go to the Jeep, and I thought, I'm going to have to throw out a bunch of stuff again. Because that's what happens. Sometimes I take tanks off of people. They're just getting out of the hobby. It wasn't for them. Maybe they've killed their fish. Maybe they haven't. But, the hobby's not for them and they want out. And lots of times I'll get a box and I look in the box and think, well, that's probably why you're not very good with fish. And I start throwing things out. I didn't throw anything out. There was a bottle of Prime, some food. Okay, the food's getting old, but, if I hurry up and use it, it'll probably be all right. All the fish have been eating it, and, aside from this tank, everybody's fine. So there were some good things. Tools for taking care of these plants. So far the plants are, I was going to say doing okay, but not really, I guess. They are slowly losing leaves. Part of that could be new water. Couple of the fish objected to the new water. Like I say, not all. They were doing good. The ones that managed the move, they were doing good and coming out and starting to get used to me, even though it'd only been a few days. They were fine. At least until I tested the water. But like, the fish, these plants are slowly dying back. There's an unhappy leaf. Not entirely surprised, though. One, they're down here on the floor, so, from the other big lights in the room, they're getting the last of that. I do have a light on this tank, but it's a Marineland aquarium light. So, the knowledge says that Marineland can't keep fake plants alive. So, I know they're already dead, right? They're fake. It wasn't the light's fault. They're fake. How do you keep something alive that's fake? Yeah. It's an exaggeration. Get over it. So, we'll see. I did put it on here because, some light's better than no light. And I'm hoping these plants are tolerant enough that they don't need a sun shining on them to do okay. But we'll see. If I find some extra money and can swing, some type of a better light, then I'll see about getting it. It doesn't have to be a very big light. This is a 10-gallon aquarium. Kind of looks like it's almost an 8-gallon aquarium. And of course the rocks are taking up quite a bit of room. But, I'm still going to try to keep these plants if I can. There's, to be honest, not a whole lot of money in the budget to throw, $30+ at a light for some plants. So we'll see how it goes. Not even sure what kind of plants these are. But if I can keep them going, it might be like an extension of the channel. I mean, I've got like Lucky Bamboo growing directly in the aquariums, but everybody else is basically just fed with aquarium water. And it suits them all right, I thought. I do. This little guy over here, the Lucky Bamboo, were growing in dirt. That pot's ugly. Forgive the ugly pot. But that's the one growing in dirt. It's got a new leaf that I think came out since the light went on. So it seems to like the light well enough. At some point, it's going to shoot up past the light, past the other aquarium up there. But for right now, it seems to be enjoying the light. Let's hope it's enough for these guys. Even if my basic knowledge says probably not, and these guys will just slowly die out. Unless I can swing a better light before they're completely gone. I don't know. Like I said, right now, $30+ to throw at a light for these plants. Yeah. It's not a lot of money, but yeah, the bills come first before these poor plants. So we'll see how it goes. Honestly, I won't be as disappointed losing the plants as I was the fish. So, the hard part's already happened. I'm not quite sure I'm over it yet. It's quite a shot to the pride. My feelings ain't too happy. Like I said, I was beginning to get attached to those little guys. But what's done is done, and best fish keeper in the world can't reverse that. It's one thing to catch them when they're sick, but when they're gone, they're gone, and nobody's gonna bring them back from that. So I do not want to end on a sad note, and I won't. So one more cut. All right. Is there anything that can lift your spirits quite like Christmas? Yeah, probably, but not a lot. So, yeah, this is the staging area. Well, was. Kind of takes you to the North Pole right now. Well, maybe not. Let me back up. It's a big tree. I'll just kind of pan like that. There's the top of the tree. We've got some carolers. And it is a bedroom. So now that I've kind of sort of did the big shot, let's go ahead and get some close-ups. We have the nativity scene with giraffes for some reason. They kind of work though, don't they? Not sure why they work, but they kind of work. So there. Do a bit of a close-up on the manger there. Okay, that's it's the nativity scene. And then we got the presents around front. Wish there were real presents. Everybody loves presents. We got the little Christmas tree and Santa Claus. And a close-up really does not do the big tree well. Yeah, it's quite a tree. I don't know, 13 feet to the top of those feathers, maybe? And we've got the carolers. And the Jersina in the background. Had to keep some actual life over here. So, yeah. How's that for... Oh, stupid bed. How's that for jolly? Kind of hard to get everything in the shot and sort of keep the bed out of it. It's not like the bed's unmade, but there's nothing special about it. All right, with that, I'll talk to you next time.